Shinananda Vande Shivadika Svanatra Vijana Samaya Sampanabhanavanaram Shri Gurunityananda Shrivedatan Narasya Shri Guru Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram. Okay, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. This is Sunday Satsang, December 24th. 2023, and the first part of the class we're going to continue discussing Understanding Shastras. This is part 3 of our discussion. Selling time? What time? Go. The point is, these are points about understanding Shastra from Satyanarayana Das Babaji Maharaj from Vrindavan Jiva Institute. And he's describing the preeminent position of Srimad Bhagavatam. There's so many Upanishads, there's Mahabharata, there's Ramayana, there's Bhagavad Gita. There's many famous books of India which are considered topmost Shastras. But as we know, the Bhagavatam is often called Grantaraj. But the Sikh followers of Guru Gobind Singh, Sikh gurus, they have a holy book they call Granth Sahib. They call it Granth Sahib. So Sahib means like, what does Sahib mean?
Master.
Yeah, so Raj and Master, Sahib and Raj mean the same thing. So we say Srimad Bhagavatam, Grantaraj Ki Jai. Grantha means sacred spiritual books, scriptures, Grantha. It's the king of all. So the Sikhs, they call their holy book, it's called, what's it called?
Guru Granth Sahib.
Guru Granth Sahib. So it's the teachings of the Guru, and a certain number of Gurus in their line. They're like the Mahajans for their religion. What they call Sahib, which means the same as Raj. So if you're with the Sikhs, they'll argue with you. They say, our Granth Sahib is the Granth Raj. So we say, okay, good, I'm not going to fight with a Sikh. That's not too smart. They're solid, they're strong, they carry knives. So, but what he's trying to make a point here in this discussion about the preeminent position of Bhagavatam is what he says. He says, and somebody asked a question. They said different Puranas, different spiritual authorities are cited. Sometimes Brahma speaking, sometimes Vyasa speaking, sometimes Narada Muni speaking, and sometimes Shiva speaking. So, and a lot of times they say different things, like there's a book called Shiva Puran. We have Bhagavad Puran, there's also Shiva Puran. There's also Devi, we have Srimad Bhagavatam, there's also a book called Devi Bhagavad. Devi Bhagavad is for worshipping Durga. Shiva's wife, Parvati Durga. It's called Devi Bhagavad. So, there's conflicting views about creation, about the universe, about many points of spiritual reality and tattva. So then so the person asked the running question, how do we reconcile all these differences? All these sacred scriptures are there, and they're all proclaiming to be the absolute truth and the perfect description, perfect evidence for spiritual truth. So what do we do? What's our response to that? So Satyanarayana Das Babaji says, my first reply is that the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Puran, overrides and cancels all the other statements of every other scripture. In other words, Bhagavatam is the best, it's the topmost, the best, and we don't care what you say, basically. Your book says this or that, that's good, but we follow the Bhagavatam. So there's not much point of discussion. You accept Bhagavatam, good. If you don't, get lost. Doesn't leave for much interfaith religious dialogue. It's pretty radical view, but that's the fact. Because Vyasadeva himself, he wrote so many Vedic scriptures, and there's conflicting views in different Vedas. He compiled Vedas. Vedanta Grid, there's a verse in 15 Chapter Gita, chapter 15, verse 15. Sarvasya Chahamriti Sana Vishta, Matasmatir Gyanam Aponam Cha, Vedeshwara Swarame Vedya, Vedanta Grid Vedya Vishta. Vedanta Grid, I am the writer, I am the compiler of the Vedas. So Vyasadeva compiled, he collected all the Vedas, he wrote them, but he didn't speak them all. Sometimes Vedas said, you can sit up here, come up here, up here. That's for brahmacharis. That's future Babajis. So that verse in Gita, Krishna is saying that Vyasa compiled the Vedas, but he didn't speak all the Vedas. So the person asks the question, Vyasadeva wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam, but he wrote so many other books also, and there's conflicting philosophical views. So which one is the topmost? So Satyanarayana Das Babaji Maharaj replied that the Bhagavatam is the last word of Vyasadeva. Does everyone know what that means, last word? If you don't know what it means, raise your hand. The last word of Vyasadeva. You know what it means? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. For example, your father is dying. And he says, these are my last words. In other words, he won't be able to speak in a few more minutes because he's going to leave his body, he's going to die. So the last words he says are very significant. He says, I have my house, I leave my house to my son, and my bank account to my wife. Oh, that's the big thing. And then, my assets and different bits. Sit up here. Don't sit up there. Sit up here. Tell that person to sit here. Don't sit on the... Sit so you can be seen. Don't hide behind the pillar. That's not the way. You come to class, you come to class. You don't want to come, you could stay away. You're supposed to see the speaker. It's etiquette and it's common sense also. Or watch on the internet. So he's making a point, the preeminent position of Bhagavatam. Because there's so many conflicting statements in Vedas, and like we say our Grantha Raj Srimad Bhagavatam, but if you're a Sikh, well, they say the Grantha Sahib. The word Sahib means Raj, it means it's the king of all Shastras. For the Sikhs, it's the Guru Grantha Sahib. They worship it, and it's elaborate worship. It's a very nice way they treat their Shastras, their Murti. Their Shastras, they have Guru Grantha, Guru, what do they call it? Temple, what do they call it? Temple.
Gurudwara.
Yeah, Gurudwara. It's the gateway to Guru, it means the gateway to the book. You go on the Gurudwara, there's a book there. The altar is a book. There's no Murti, there's no photograph, there's no pictures. There's a book. I've been there in Daryaganj, a place in Old Delhi called Daryaganj. There's a famous Gurudwara there, I think Daryaganj. Big place. They give you a holiday and take your shoes. It's a very, very nice place. But my friend lives near there. I could never find his house, so I said, meet me at the Gurudwara. Because his house, like going to find his house, had to be a mouse or a rat or something. They go this way, that way, through Chandi Chowk, and this way, right, this way. Oh, it's crazy. It's like a very fun thing to go around Chandi Chowk. Okay, so that's one point. This discussion now, before we have Sunday satsang, we're discussing Understanding Shastra. This is the third part of our class. We have 2 classes already. This is a very important point about understanding the intention of the author, the intention of the speaker. We already said in our last class, people take issue with the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto Bhagavatam, if you ever got that far. 5th canto. It describes the nature of the universe, the planetary distances, distance between the sun, the moon, the earth, and all this stuff. And it's completely opposite of modern astronomy, modern science. This doesn't match at all. So modern scientists and logical, reasonable, modern people, they condemn the Bhagavatam, they find fault with the Bhagavatam. They say this: if your Bhagavatam can't even describe the planets and what we can see and feel and touch with our material senses, how can your Bhagavatam describe the transcendent reality, the invisible spiritual realm? They can't even describe. If you can't describe the nose on your face, how are you supposed to describe what's in your mind? You can't. You don't have any power of perception. So they criticize the Bhagavatam like this. So then what is our response to that? We see this is not the intention of Vyasadeva. Right, there's a book called Bhagavatam. You ever read it? Okay. And Vyasadeva spoke to Bhagavatam. What is the intention of Vyasadeva? Why did he write the Bhagavatam? Intention means purpose. Purpose, intention. Why did he write the Bhagavatam? What is he trying to do? You understand English? No answer. No answer. Anyone has an answer? I can't hear. Who's speaking?
Wanted to teach what is Shuddha Bhakti.
Shuddha Bhakti.
The intention, why do we study Bhagavatam to learn about the universe? Do we study Bhagavatam to learn about hellish planets? Do we study Bhagavatam to learn about the Madan avatars? Do we study the Bhagavatam to learn about the Das avatars, Nrsimha, Vaman, Varaha? The answer is no. Well, the next question is, why are all these subjects in the Bhagavatam? What's the answer?
To teach Shuddha
Because it's a Purana.
Bhakti. Okay, bye.
She was in class last week. Yeah, I asked a question. Does anyone doesn't know English? Some people don't know English, but most everyone knows English. So the Bhagavatam has many subjects in it, right? Mamattaras, time, karma, varna, ashram, all about the different varnas, grihastha, ashram, sannyas, brahmachari, married life, single life, all many things are discussed there, 7th canto, 11th canto, sense control. Why are all the subjects in the Bhagavad Puran? Because it's a Puran. Any book that has the title Puran has 10 subjects in it. One is Srishti, one is Pralaya, one is Mamantar, one is Avatar, one is Kala, one is different family dynasties, the Suryavamsh, the dynasty from Suryadev, the dynasty from Chandradev, Suryavamsh is Ramachandra, so 9th cantos are Ramachandra, and the Chandravamsh, the family from Chandra, born under the full moon, born under the influence of the moon. It's Krishna, he's Chandravamsh, the family of Chandra, so that's in 10th canto. So all these are described there. Every Purana has a story of Richasura. Every Purana has a story of Chitiketi. Every Purana has a story of Nrsimha, Prahlad, but different told. Every Purana has Krishna Lila in it. Vishnu Purana, Skanda Purana, Padma Purana. Padma Purana has Astakaya Lila, Radha Krishna. Did you know that? Astakaya Lila is not a creation of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Right? You know what I mean by Astakaya Lila? 8 periods of the day, Pratah Kal, Madhyan Kal, Ratri, like that. Astakaya Lila is described in Padma Purana 5,000 years ago. So it's an ancient subject. So all these subjects, every Puran, if it's going to be called a Puran, has to talk, like Shiva Puran talks about all these subjects. You can find Krishna Lila and Shiva Puran. I have many Puranas in my library. Guru Puran, Shiva Puran, they all describe these different things. Some emphasize more different aspects of these 10 subjects. So mostly Puranas just talk about these things. But Vyasadeva, he wrote all the different books, he compiled all the different books. Then he said, I want to teach about Uttam Bhakti. What did Rupa Goswami say about Uttam? How did Rupa Goswami define Uttam Bhakti?
Anyabhyasita shunyam jnana karmadhyanamritam
Anukulena Krishna Shilanam Bhakti Uttam. This is described in verse 11 of Bhakti Rasamrita, which is part of the Mangalacharana verses, in the Katari, beginning verses. Because he's saying, what is this book going to be about? Bhakti Rasamrita is about Uttam Bhakti. What's Uttam Bhakti? Means pure Bhakti, free from selfishness, free from karma, free from jnana, free from any desire for liberation, going back home, back to God. All these concepts are rejected in Uttam Bhakti. So the intention of Vyasadeva writing the Bhagavatam, Rohitji, is to describe what is Uttam Bhakti. What is Uttam Bhakti, what is not Uttam Bhakti. So where in the Bhagavatam, what part of the Bhagavatam and what persons are described, where does Vyasadeva show what is Uttam Bhakti purely and fully? I'm asking this question. Understand the question? What's the answer? What do you think? I'm saying, listen, there's 12 cantos of Bhagavatam. Where in the 12 cantos does, because this whole thing's about what is Uttam Bhakti, what isn't Uttam Bhakti. Dhruva Maharaj isn't Uttam Bhakti, it's Jnana Mishra Bhakti. It's Karma Mishra Bhakti. Brahma's Bhakti is not Uttam Bhakti, it's Jnana Mishra Bhakti. So all kinds of Bhakti are described. So where in the Srimad Bhagavatam 12 cantos does Vyasadeva describe this is topmost from Uttam Bhakti? And these are topmost stories. Anupam, you can answer that? Shut up. Yeah, you're here every day in class. What do you count? You can tell me? What do you say? I can't hear.
In 10th canto is
Oh, that's right. Who in 10th canto? Agasura? Bakasura? Putana? I mean, not too many answers here. The Gopis! Radharani Gopis, Radharani! The greatest worship for the greatest devotee, Radharani Ki!
Yay!
That's where you find the fullest expression of Uttam Bhakti, 10th canto. Describing the Gopis, not the old Gopis, Yashoda, that's outside Rati. The Madhurya Rati Paraki above, as the Gopis of Braj, is the topmost, purest form of love for Krishna. So whenever we read a book, we need to understand the intention of the author. Like you read a book called Appreciating Vrindavan Dham. There's a book called Appreciating Vrindavan Dham, written by some questionable person. Some Swami. And then so what is the intention of the author? Is the intention of the author to glorify squirrels? Galeri Mahima? Is the intention of the author to glorify Bandar Mahima? Is the intention of the author to glorify cows? Gomata Mahima? No. That's not the, although that's in the book. You can say, what's this book about? This book is about squirrels. The intention of the author is to glorify Vrindavan, to show his gratitude, his love and appreciation for Vrindavan and everything in Vrindavan. The Brajvasis, the Yamuna River, the forest, everything. So the intention of the author you should keep in mind. Now there's another point of considering Shastra. When Sanskrit words, there's different levels of understanding Sanskrit words. One is direct meaning. One is implied meaning. One is suggested meaning. one's indirect meaning. It has Sanskrit terms for all these. So I'll give you an example of implied meaning. So whenever you read some passage or some description in the Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is called a Kavya Shastra. What does Kavya Shastra mean? It means the Bhagavatam is a poetic book. Kavya means poetry. It's Sanskrit poetry. There's different shlokas, different chandas. Chandas means a poetic meter. Anustu, Shardula, Vikrita, there's Mahanidhi, there's different chandas, poetic meters, different verses. They're not all the same. Different number of words and different poetic song. So, it says in the Bhagavatam, in first canto, chapter 19, verse 26, that Sukadeva Goswami was 16 years old. That's what the Sanskrit said. So the direct meaning of the Sanskrit shloka, so that's where it comes in the expertise of the translator. How much the translator knows about kavya, itihas, history, and language, and vyakara, Sanskrit grammar, and tattva, siddhanta, philosophy, has to know a big picture. You just know the small picture, you can't give a full understanding of any reality. You have to be able to see a big picture. You try to judge the valley from the valley, you can't judge the valley very much. If you go to the mountaintop, you get a good idea of the valley. The guy standing on the top of the mountain has the best vision, called bird's eye view. Google. Google Global. See your license plate number. Zero in on your license plate number. Zero in on the grass in your yard, or the weeds you haven't picked out of your garden. So that's called increasing the focus. So the question is, was he really 16? So somebody, a superficial person, say, yeah, it says he's 16. 16-year-old kid is going to give a lecture for 7 days to a king with his father in the audience, Vyasadeva, and Vashishta Muni, and Garga Rishi, and Durasa Muni, and Ashtavakra Muni, all the great Satarishis, everyone's sitting in the audience listening. Is Shukratal, when Shukadeva spoke Bhagavatam Parikshit? Is it possible? The implied meaning is this: he looked like he was 16. You see some people, they don't age very fast. They always show pictures on the net. 2005, some movie star, and they show her 2023. She looks the same. You know, because you spend so much money on all that stuff. But anyway, so some people, they look the same after 25 years. I know, I've been in India for 36 years. I know people since they're 18, 19 years old. Now they're 55, 58 years old. And they said, some look almost the same. Almost the same. 18 or 55. That's a pretty good trick. Person at 18, they didn't dye their hair. that's the difference. Now they're 55, there's a little touch-up, what is that computer program? Photoshop. A little Photoshop. Done on their hairdo and whatnot. He looked like, but he's actually much older than that. So you only know the Bhagavatam and the Sanskrit Shastras, but if you know Mahabharata, you know other Shastras also describe Shukadeva. Let's say they had Jata, he had gray hair, met Jata. He looked sick, but he looked younger. His face was tight, skin was tight. So sometimes you see some old sadhus, they have gray hair, but they look like kids of face, you know. Plump cheeks and shiny face, and they have gray hair. Like, what is this guy? He dyed his hair or what? Looks like a movie star with gray hair. Like, I bet they feel like that. Yogis, you know. So the implied meaning is called Vyanjana Vritti. Another implied meaning when you say he was 16, it means he's beyond time. He was a mukta purusha, he was a liberated soul, so he's not affected by time, he's not affected by the three gunas, Tama, Rajaguna, Sattva. He was beyond the influence of material nature. So 16 is eternally, sweet 16 we say in America. When you're 16, you're old enough to get in trouble, but young enough to be fun. When you cross 16, you're not fun anymore. And you also just get in trouble your whole life. First trouble is college, second trouble is marriage, third trouble is kids, fourth trouble is bills, fifth trouble is death. There's a lot of trouble. Stay 16. Don't get married, don't get bills, don't die. Just stay 16 forever. So how old is Krishna's Nitya Naviyodanam? 15 years, 9 months, 7.5 days. Right? How old is Radharani?
14 years, 2 months, 15 days.
Let's see what guesses come up here. How old is Radharani?
14 years, 2 months.
14 years, we got that far down. Okay, good.
2 months.
2 months, we got that down.
15 days. 15 days.
15 days. Thank you. Okay, so you have to keep in mind the intention. These 16 implied meanings. Anyway, interesting stuff. This is another point here about Shastra. Don't confuse the stories for the message. I've been around in different places where they give classes on the Bhagavatam, extended classes every day for 1 month, or etc. Or there's 3 months study of Bhagavatam. They have classes on Bhagavatam. And they pay so much attention to the story. Who are the players of the story? Who's the main actor? Who's the assistant actor? What is the plot? What is the setting? But they miss the message. So the whole purpose of Vedic Shastras, because it's Kali Yuga and we like stories. Otherwise, why is Netflix so successful? Netflix. It's successful because people like movies and stories, love stories, adventure stories, robberies, whatever, history, ancient history, Bahubali, some fighting, one guy fighting another guy. 15th century India, Mughal period, this period. People like history, like all stories of ancient stories, or modern stories, or sci-fi. So people like stories about the future, invisible realm of modern science and space exploration, or like stories of ancient history, a movie about Egypt, about Caesar, feeding the Christians to the lions. That's fun, let's watch. Marcus Aurelius, Gladiator. All the hot movies, you must have seen them all. One guy in the stadium, 50,000 people in the stadium, one guy with his little tiny knife and a shield and 5 lions. They let loose 5 lions. See if you can beat them up. So he did a good job, I got eaten. He became a pakora for the lions. So, because we like stories, Vyasa tells so many stories in the Bhagavatam and all his writings, but the real purpose of the story is a message. We told a story about Krishna and the bells at Gopal. So it's not, don't get lost in the story, get the message that Shastra is more important than even Krishna himself. The Shastra says when Krishna eats, you're supposed to ring a bell. When Krishna's stealing butter, he told the bells not to ring. The bells were around the yogurt pot, because the Gopi wanted to catch Krishna. When he touched the pot, the bells will ring, ding, 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 like a burglar alarm. And the Gopi will catch Krishna stealing her fresh butter. So Krishna said, look, Balaram Bhagavan, you have to follow me, don't ring. So he put his hand in, and it didn't ring. And he took it out, it didn't ring. We put it in his mouth, started, and then he started ringing. Hey, shut up, shut up. The lady gone and caught him. So he said, why you rang? He said, I was confused. You're a personification of Shastra. In Shastra, you say, whenever Bhagavan, Ram, Krishna, Vishnu takes Bhagavan, you have to ring a bell. Ding, 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 ding. So, but you're also Bhagavan, directly, Swayam Bhagavan. You're telling me don't ring. So do I follow Swayam Bhagavan? I follow Shastra. That's what Krishna's saying in that story. It's a very interesting story, but you only remember the story, not the punchline. You're drunk. You missed the point. So then Krishna said, yeah, you're right. Shastra first. Shastra is a praman. And then Krishna said, yeah, you remind me, you remind me of a verse from the Gita. Chapter 16, verse 24.
Yes, Shastra.
Tasmat
Shastra Pramana.
Tasmat Shastra Pramana. Krishna says in 16 chapter verse 24, Tasmat Shastra Pramana. That's a Gita. Come on. I gave the Gita, you have to look at another book. 16:24. So Krishna says in Gita, Krishna says, he said, I'm not the Pramana, I'm not the evidence, I'm not the Shastras are. So he said, Guru Shastra and Sadhu. The first thing is Shastra, and Sadhus represent Sadhu. Gurus and Sadhus represent. Read it.
Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Vyavastito Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartumiharhasi.
Translation.
Therefore, scripture is the authority in determining what to do and what not to do. Understanding what is stated in the scripture, you should perform actions in this world.
So that's the thing. So we don't miss the message, don't get confused with the story of Shastra. Like in the Srinath story, okay, this lion came and saved this kid and all that. What's the message? What's the message of that story? Most people can tell all the stories about it, they can't tell you what it means. They can't tell you the message or the meaning. I don't know, it's a good story though. Anyway, so that's a nice point to think about. The stories are there to explain Vedic philosophy. In other words, the kid can't take medicine, so they dip it in sugar-coated vitamins. Here's some sugar, here's some candy. Okay, oh, it's nice. He swallows the candy, he thinks it's candy, and it's medicine. So the stories are the sugar coating. Philosophy with honey coating. That's the story. The main thing that counts is the story, is the message, not the story. So sometimes people ask the question, well, wait a minute, these Shastras are confusing. But I read the story in Bhagavatam, it says that Parikshit sat 7 days on the bank of the Yamuna, or Ganges on the Yamuna, I think Yamuna. And he listened to the Bhagavatam, and then a snake came and killed him. But the Mahabharata says he was hiding under the Yamuna in a submarine. He was hiding in a submarine because he was deathly, he was completely scared of getting killed in 7 days. And he knew he had 7 days to live, so he figured if he can escape the snake's bite in 7 days, then that curse will be over, because he was cursed to die in 7 days by a snake bite. So he hid under the Yamuna in a submarine. And people come in through a tube and give him food and stuff. This is Mahabharata. Same Parikshit. Mahabharata Shastra is Praman. So if people get confused, they say, oh, I forget all these words. So what happened is, on the 7th day, he was in his submarine under Yamuna, and the servant brought in his prasadi, and there was some apple. in the apple was a little tiny worm. So when he ate the apple, the worm turned into Tarksha. Tarksha is a big snake, which is a snake, same name, the same snake that bites Parikshit in the Bhagavatam and kills him after 7 days of hearing Bhagavatam. Of course, he got liberated. He attained praying by hearing Bhagavad Sapta. But in Mahabharata, he didn't attain praying, he didn't get liberated, he just got bitten by a snake and died. So it's a story apart of the message. The message is if you hear the Bhagavatam, you become eternal and get liberated. If you don't, you won't. So that's the message. The message of Mahabharata is he didn't take shelter, he was a scaredy cat king. He was afraid of death like everybody. Ahar Nija Maitun Bayam. Everyone is controlled by fear of death. Everything else is a sub-branch of that. So it's interesting. The message is the main thing. The message of friction of Bhagavatam is the power of Bhagavatam. Hear Bhagavatam and get liberated. In 7 days you can go to the spiritual world. So the story isn't important, the message is important. You understand what I'm trying to convey? This class is going to be many parts, so that's good. I think so, I don't know. Anybody else think? Stories about Krishna, like Krishna, any story involving Krishna, apart from giving a teaching and having some message, some philosophy, conveying some philosophy, also has inherent spiritual power. There's a verse in the second canto of Bhagavatam, Srimatan Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Vrijantak Stari Bhadrani Vidunati Siddhatam. That you just hear about Krishna's stories. Krishna in the heart is Paramatma. He cleanses the heart of greed, anger, lust, and envy. So just by reading Krishna Lila, every day reading 10th canto of Bhagavatam or Krishna book or Govinda Lila, just reading without trying to collect some message or learn some philosophy, just passively hearing stories about Krishna is actually elevating our consciousness, purifying our consciousness. It's like magic purification, magic elevation. Even if you don't understand the message of Krishna Lila, which is pretty esoteric, so just by hearing it, you're making spiritual advancement, step by step getting closer to the goal of spiritual perfection, which is Krishna praying. Okay, we'll continue there 169 next week. That was our let's these books up. Okay. That's Understanding Shastras, part number 3.